fun because we're gonna be doing some twisty and bendy yoga. So a lot of literal spinal twists and then forward folds. And normally, if you haven't joined my classes before, I like to do very slow, gentle, setting the tone at the very beginning and at the very end. And then the more intense classes are usually, or the more intense postures and movement is usually in the middle of the class. So then you have an idea of what it's gonna look like. But we're gonna get started. If you're down to do some yoga with us today, feel free to join. And I have my little hair tie because we're gonna be moving that much that we need to put our hair up today. So let's do it. Grab your mats, pull up your hair, grab water bottles, whatever you need to do, and let's hit the mat. All right, we're gonna be in Baddha Konasana today. Soles of the feet together. Option to have your hands on your ankles or grabbing the big toes, just like that. We're gonna inhale, roll the shoulders back and down, away from the ears, open the chest, deep breath in. And exhale, tuck the chin in towards the chest and slowly start to fold forward. Just take a few deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the nose. And we're starting fast right away, maybe moving straight into the physical movement. Inhale, spine up, gaze forward, chin up. And exhale, forward fold one more time. Tucking the chin in towards the chest. And taking a few deep breaths. Inhale, spine up, gaze forward. And we're gonna go again. This time, allow your spine to round. And just allow your head to droop forward, relaxing the neck, the entire spine, cervical, thoracic, lumbar. And as we do this, taking the time to notice how our stomach is, if we feel any pressure in the belly region, maybe the diaphragm, maybe in the heart. It's possible you feel it more in the hips. But what we're doing is just bringing awareness as we begin the practice to notice where our attention needs to go, if we're holding on to anything. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. In through the nose, out the nose. Take your time. And inhale, begin to roll up into that seated position. You're welcome to cross the legs this time instead of keeping them in Baddha Konasana. Either creating that lotus figure with the legs or just crossing them like crisscross applesauce. We're gonna drop the right hand towards the floor. Inhale, left arm overhead. Gaze up towards the floating hand. Deep stretch to the right side. And inhale, back to center, over to the left side. Reaching the right arm overhead. Reach as far up as you can. Inhale, center. The right hand is going to go behind your back onto the floor. Left hand onto the right knee. Inhale, extend the spine up. Grow an inch taller. And exhale, push into your right knee. Gaze behind you as much as you can. We're going to take 3 deep inhales. Every time you inhale, elongate the spine even more. Every exhale, twist a little deeper. 2 more. One more. Exhale. Inhale back to center, arms overhead. Watch the palms touch. And exhale over to the left side, right hand on the left knee. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, twist a bit deeper. Gaze all the way behind you. Go ahead, 3 deep inhales on your own. Every exhale, you're twisting a little bit deeper. Be aware of how that lower spine is feeling. Don't push yourself too hard if it's painful. And let's add that last breath in. Inhale, elongating the spine. Exhale, looking even further back. And gaze forward. Beautiful. From here, we're going to extend the legs forward. I'll just move so you can see exactly how it's going to look from the side view. From here, it's okay if you need to bend your knees in order to access this position. However, I really challenge you, welcome you to keep the legs as straight as possible. We're going to go into Dandasana. So placing the hands on the floor. If your arms are a little shorter like me, sometimes the bottom of the palms don't touch the floor, so it's okay. As long as you're really engaging the arms to go all the way towards the floor as much as possible, and then straighten the legs so much that your feet flex. Maybe you engage your legs so much to the point that the heels even lift up off the floor, and then extend the crown of the head, the top of the head towards the ceiling. So straight spine. Our whole body here is engaged as much as possible. Maybe you're even feeling the abs being engaged. That is perfect. If you're doing that, you're doing a great job. And then tuck the chin in slightly towards the chest, shoulders away from the ears. This looks like it's very easy, but it's not. You got this. We're going to take 3 more deep breaths. Keep everything engaged. Remember each section of the body. Keep pushing the hands into the floor. Let's take our last deep breath in. Lift the spine taller. And exhale, slowly walk your hands forward in order to fold forward. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. If this is where you need to stop, go ahead. If you can go further, maybe grabbing the outer edges of the feet, maybe grabbing the big toes with the peace fingers and pulling in. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold in even deeper this time. So if your hands are on the floor like this, walk your hands further up. If you need to use blocks or pillows underneath in order to achieve this, go ahead. Fold from the very bottom of the spine instead of rounding the back. See if you can straighten the spine as much as you can before folding forward. One last deep breath in. And exhale, side up. Inhale, lift the upper chest. We're going to lift the legs below into our boat pose, engaging the belly, lower spine straight so you're not rounding the back. Really keeping the spine straight. Palms facing forward, facing towards the ceiling. If you can, go ahead and extend the legs completely into your full boat pose. Our gaze is past our nose, so you're not looking too high or too low, right past the nose. It's okay if your legs shake. Extend the spine even taller, and we're gonna cross our legs, slowly place our hands on the floor into tabletop position. Inhale, right arm up towards the ceiling, along with your gaze. Exhale, thread the arm under the left arm and slowly lower down onto the right ear. Option to keep your hand right on the floor, or you can reach it up overhead for that thread the needle. If you would like, you can also reach the left hand above the back, between the thigh and the belly, and continue to push the right hand into the floor. 3 deep breaths here. One more. And inhale, arm overhead. Push yourself back up. Extend the right hand up towards the ceiling. Open the chest and exhale down. Inhale, other side, left arm. Exhale, thread the needle over to the right side. Option to keep your hand on the floor by the arm or reach it up above the head, or third option, behind your back. Go ahead, some deep breaths here. Allowing the air to traverse all the way to the pit of the belly. Inhale, arm overhead. Push yourself back up. Reach that left arm overhead. And exhale down. We're gonna go for some cat-cows. Make sure your limbs are stacked. So wrists are exactly under your shoulders. Knees are exactly under your hips. Inhale, drop the belly. Open the chest. Lift the chin. Exhale, round the back. Gaze towards your belly button. Push the floor away. Inhale. This is cow. Exhale for cats. You may begin doing your own cat-cows at your own rhythm. You can go faster, slower. If you want to incorporate any extra yoga postures that your body is asking you to do before we start a flow, a sequence, you may do that now. You're also welcome to create some circles of the spine here, releasing any tension in the vertebrae, maybe in the neck, the shoulders, allowing the head to fully rotate as well. I always like to recommend closing down the eyes to feel a sensation rather than what it looks like. And take the time to do both sides in both directions. Go ahead, curl the toes underneath and slowly push the hips up high. Down dog. Pedal out the feet, walk the dog. Move your hips side to side. Especially if this is your first down dog of the day, really take your time to open up your body and prepare for this posture. We will be going into it a little bit today. Go ahead and show me your perfect down dog. Palms into the floor. You're not dumping into the shoulders because you're still pushing the floor away. Your hips are engaged up towards the ceiling. It's okay if your heels don't touch the floor. If they do, it might look like this, but your feet and your hands may be too close. So go ahead and try to pull them further back
So you can still get a little edge. You can still challenge yourself a bit more. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, walk the feet towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Option to have the hands on the knees, the feet, or the floor. This is called Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. This is our first forward fold standing, so you may bend the knees in order to do this. Drop the head forward. Rock your head yes and no, side to side. Releasing any tension with the connection to the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Gaze forward for our Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, forward fold once again. Hinge from the hips. Allow the hips, the weight of the hips to go forward. This time, bend your left knee. Inhale, right arm up towards the ceiling. Keep the left hand on the floor this time. Gaze up towards the floating hand. An option to wrap that hand behind your back once again. If you need to have a block, maybe a big book, maybe a pillow right underneath here, you're welcome to do that as well. Keep bending that left knee. Inhale, extend the arm. Exhale, drop it down and extend the left leg. Changing sides, bend the right knee. Extend the left arm all the way up. Exhale, the arm behind your back. We're gonna stay here. Make sure you're only twisting the head to gaze up towards the ceiling. You're not lifting the head literally up like this. You're just twisting. Keep bending through the right knee. Inhale, left arm all the way up. Exhale, down. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Stand all the way up, slowly vertebrae by vertebrae. Head is last to come up. Rolling the shoulders back and down, away from the spine. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Inhale, gaze forward. Ardha. Exhale, we're gonna plant the hands on the floor. Go ahead, step back with one foot and then the other. We're gonna start with our chaturangas by dropping our knees, dropping our heart towards the floor. You may begin with a cobra if you would like. This is cobra, lifting the chest forward, engaging the entire body so that you can lift the hands up off the floor. That is cobra. If you want to do up dog, that means lifting the hips and the knees off the floor, pushing the hands into the floor, opening the chest forward, gazing up, lifting the chin up. Exhale, everyone, curl the toes underneath, push your hips up high, down dog once again. Inhale, right foot towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the nose. It's okay if they don't touch. But we're rounding our spine as much as possible to make space for our foot to drop between our hands at the top. Drop the left knee behind you. And inhale, arms overhead. This is our supported crescent pose. Go ahead, cactus the elbows, open the chest, chin up. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, supported prayer twist. Our hands in prayer, we're going to twist the right side in order to hook our elbow over the knee and then push into the knee to push our chest, open our chest up towards the ceiling. We're not dumping our chest into our hands and arms. We're making space between the arms and the chest. I'm going to stay here for a moment so you guys can get to know the posture well. Really try to push that left elbow away from the upper body as much as you can, pushing the arm into the leg, creating that spinal twist. If this is a lot balance-wise, keep your gaze towards the floor. Everyone, go ahead. Extend the arms all the way open and reach that right hand all the way back behind the spine, behind the hips. Left arm overhead. This is supported reverse warrior. Go ahead for that deep back bend. And exhale, plant the left hand on the floor. Pick up the back knee, raise the right arm up towards the ceiling. Dragonfly twist. If you need help with balance, start by gazing at the floor for this. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and lift your gaze towards the floating hand, the right hand. We're going to do a somewhat big transition here. So when you're ready, gaze down at the floor. And we're going to place both hands on the floor, extend the front leg. Okay, so you're not dropping the back heel, but our hips are still parallel to the mat. One hip is not higher than the other. I can even check and see, okay, maybe my right hip is a little higher up and I just adjust. If you need to use blocks under the hands, you can do that. But from here, this is going to be our big transition. We're going to lift our front toes, drop our back heel in order to do our forward fold. From here, toes in, heels out like a duck. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold all the way down. You can place your hands between the feet on the floor and then drop your head. Relax the neck, move it side to side, up and down. And then inhale, hands on the hips, rise all the way up to standing. We're gonna go again. Exhale, fold forward. Drop the hands down. This time, you may walk your hands towards the back. If this is acceptable or accessible to you, pull yourself closer towards the floor. You got this. Deep breaths. Exhale, hands on the hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Again, exhale, forward fold. This time, grab the big toes. Option to keep your hands on the floor always. That's first option. Second option was walking the hands back. Third option, if you're interested in going further than that, grabbing the big toes. Inhale, chin up, gaze forward. Exhale, elbows out to the sides, fold forward. Pulling the hamstrings up towards the hips, extending the spine fully. Shifting the hips forward. And exhale, release the hands onto the hips. Inhale, rise up to standing. Heels in, knees out. You may even need to shimmy your stance a little wider to bend both knees into our goddess pose. From here, you have the option to stay with your hands in prayer like this. You can have your arms out and create some TikToks. Side to side, these are really great for the hips. If you would like something more intense, you can attempt to lift the heels up. Option to have the hands in front of the chest again. Whew. It's a lot on the calves. Whatever you're doing, breathe through it. And exhale. Everyone go ahead, extend your legs completely. Gaze towards the front of the mat. Take a big step forward.
both toes together, both big toes together. Bend the knees, bend the hips. Reach your arms overhead, chair pose, Utkatasana. So the knees are touching here. Go ahead and sit a little bit lower. If you can, gaze up towards the thumbs. Challenge is placing the hands together. And everyone exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, hands on the floor. Step back with the left foot first, and then the right. Drop down onto the knees, onto the chest. Inhale, option for cobra or up dog. And exhale, down dog. Right away, left leg all the way up. Exhale, supported crescent. Dropping the back knee, inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands in front of the chest for a prayer twist. Twisting to the left side, hooking the elbow, and then pushing into the leg to open our chest. Gazing down at the floor if you need help with balance. And when you're ready, gazing up towards the ceiling. Engage the inner thighs, and that's going to help you a lot with stabilizing into this posture. Remember to keep the space between the chest and the arms and the leg as wide as possible. You want space between all of your limbs. Inhale, extend the arms and reach back with the left arm. Reverse warrior, supported version. Exhale, right hand on the floor. Pick up the back knee, extend the left arm overhead. If you want, once again, gazing up towards that floating hand. Exhale, look down. Drop the hand, extend the front leg. And if you want, walking the hands further forward. Folding all the way down. From here, we're going to go into that wide leg forward fold. So walking your hands over, I'm just going to move the opposite direction for you guys to still see it. So we're moving into our wide leg forward fold. First thing, hands on the floor, in the middle between the feet. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Crown of the head onto the floor. Exhale, hands on the hips. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, go ahead, back down. Walk your hands towards the back. 2 deep breaths here. So from the side view, it would look like this. My bun for my hair is in the way, so it doesn't let me go further down. But this is the side view. Exhale, hands on the hips. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale, back down. Last version. If you want to keep those two, you can always stick to those first two options. Next, grabbing the big toes. Deep inhale, gaze forward, straight spine. Exhale, elbows bent. Folding forward for our wide leg forward fold. Pulling our kneecaps up. Deep inhale. Exhale, release the bind, hands on the hips. Inhale, all the way up. Heels in, toes out, bending our knees. If you need to grab a bigger stance, go ahead. And once again, option to have your hands in front of the chest here. doing our TikToks with fingers together in mudras. You can choose which finger you want to do. Or that third option, having the heels lifted up off the floor. When you do that, try to find something to balance with, to focus on. But you got it. I believe in you. My legs are getting tired. All right, exhale, drop the heels if you have them up. Inhale, extend the legs, gaze forward, and both feet towards the top of the mat. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Gazing at the thumbs, if you can. Engaging the Mula Bandha, the belly. And exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold all the way. Bend your knees if you need to get into this position. All we're doing is doing that forward fold, but I welcome you to grab the backs of the legs if you want, if you can, in order to fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend your knees. We're going to slowly lower down into the ending of our class today. Slowing things down once again. Bend the left knee. You don't need to bring your foot in as close as I have it. It can go further in front if you'd like. From there, inhale, lifting the arms all the way up. Twisting towards the straight leg, and then exhale, folding forward. Tucking the chin in towards the chest. If you want to keep your hands on the floor, that's fine. Keep flexing the foot. You can stay there. If you have access to the foot bind, grab the foot and pull in. Fold forward. This is called Janu Shirshasana. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. And exhale, fold in deeper. Hinging from the lower spine. Inhale, walk all the way up. We're gonna do opposite hand, opposite knee, and then extend the left arm overhead. From here, you're stretching out the side body. So just stop wherever it's asking you to, but if you can, attempt to grab the opposite foot when you do, and if you do, open the chest. Try to gaze past the armpit. One more deep breath. And exhale. Inhale, rise up. Whew. Left hand towards the back on the floor. Just like we did at the beginning, we're doing that spinal twist. Gaze behind you. And retract the pose, bring the arms to your right side on the floor. And just gently bring the chest towards the floor. Inhale, back up. We're gonna go for the other side. So extending the left leg forward. From here, you're welcome to keep the right leg bent further up towards the foot if that feels more comfortable for you. You don't have to do it like me, as I mentioned before. But from where you're at, the hips should be on the floor, tailbone on the floor. Inhale, arms overhead, twist towards your left leg, and then exhale, fold forward. Once again, you can keep just the hands on the floor like this, or you can grab the foot fully and then pull in. Go ahead for your 3 deep breaths.
Look forward, straight spine. And exhale for our deeper fold. Go ahead. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring we're gonna do that same thing we did from the other side. So right hand behind your spine, left hand on your knee for our spinal twist to gaze behind us. I almost forgot that. My bad. We got this, we're towards the end. And then retracting the pose by going to the other side, to our left side, dropping our chest forward, alleviating the spine, and then we're good. Placing the soles of the feet together. Go ahead into our Baddha Konasana once again. This time, just creating the butterfly wings with our knees, relaxing our hips, our legs. Being like children again. And then go ahead, extend your legs all the way forward in front of you onto the mat. We're going to go for our final posture before Shavasana, walking our hands forward and then dropping our head down. As you see, my spine doesn't fully go straight at first, so I always have to kind of get extra muscle out of the way from under me. And then I always have to kind of redo the spine. I had a spinal problem when I was younger, so sometimes it's a little bit difficult for like the lower spine for me. So that's why I mention it. If this helps with you at all, readjust it. So sometimes doing a forward fold right away is tough. Readjusting always helps. And you might have to do it like 2-3 times in order to get to that deeper posture. So inhaling, spine straight. And then exhale, folding forward, walking the hands forward, tucking the chin in. And then as you go for that, I always like to extend the spine 2-3 times in the fold. And then it allows me to go deeper and deeper each time. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Wherever you're at, go ahead for that last final forward fold. It's called Paschimottanasana. It's interesting because it's the same thing as folding forward if you were standing, but they have different names. This is Paschimottanasana, the standing version is Uttanasana. From here, go ahead and relax the arms, the legs. So at this point, you're not engaging anything. You're just allowing your body to fold forward naturally. And if this is hard to do, you can always place a pillow between the belly and the thighs. So it gives you a bit of support to just hinge forward fully. Drop the neck, the head, the upper spine, the lower spine. Maybe the hands relax so much that the palms face all the way up towards the ceiling. And I'll give you the chance to take 3 deep breaths. And those 3 deep breaths are going to help you lower all the way down onto your spine, into our Shavasana, our corpse pose, our final resting pose. So finally taking the time to uncoil, to lay down fully onto our backs. I'm just going to switch forward so you guys can see. And lowering all the way down onto the floor. Shimmying the shoulders underneath, palms facing up.
tucking the chin slightly in towards the chest. Go ahead and relax the forehead. Unclench the jaw, separate the teeth. And then breathe deeply into your lungs. So deeply that the air travels down to the pit of the belly, towards the pubic bone, and then all the way back out. With your eyes still closed, allow your mouth to curl. The corners of the mouth curl into a little grin or a little smile. Doesn't have to be for anyone other than yourself. It can be for your practice. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana for longer, or follow me to close off our practice today. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to bring sensation back into the body. Rocking your head side to side. Reaching your arms overhead, pointing your toes below, taking a huge stretch. Tucking your knees in towards your chest, wrapping your arms around, tucking your nose in towards your knees. And start to roll onto the spine until you have enough momentum to come all the way up to seated. Facing me. Cross your legs however you would like. And before we end, just go ahead, hug yourself. Feel the separation between the shoulder blades as you do this. And if you'd like, you can fold forward ever so slightly. And back up. Go ahead and try the other side. So if you had your right over your left, go for left over right. And fold down. Inhale back up. Release. Place the hands in front of the chest. Thank you so much for being here. The light in me honors that same light in you because you're the same. Namaste. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. That was wonderful. Take the time after this class to drink some water because we did a lot of spinal twists and whatnot. Here, I'm gonna sit down. Because we did a lot of spinal twists and whatnot, there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on physically with your body afterwards. Like you're literally wringing out like all of the bad stuff out of your body in a way. You're like allowing blood flow to come in faster. So take the time to rest after this, please. Bananas, potassium really help for being sore. So with that knowledge, do what you want with it. And as always, I'm here look out for any events coming up soon because there's always going to be a different theme. Yes. And yeah, anytime you want more help, any programs, any help, just go check out Gentle Stretching's website. I believe it's in their bio. But as always, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. And I hope you feel really energetic, really uplifted at this point. And have a beautiful rest of your Friday. Ciao, guys. Bye.